What's up, y'all? So I saw your votes on the poll I made about why I left my modeling agency, and a lot of you guys, like a good, I think right now it's at 30. I'm not gonna post this until it's completely done, like a full 24 hours, but so far we are at 30 people. 30 of y'all want to know, 3 of y'all don't. So here it goes. And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna put my makeup on and stuff before I go to the grocery because that's what I do. I feel like I need to leave with some type of face for my ego and routine and everything. So I'm putting on primer right now. I use this one from The Ordinary. God damn it. Yeah, this one. It's coming out backwards, but it's this high adhere silicone primer. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So I signed with this agency November of 2016. So right after I shaved my head. Because it had a really good fashion week that past September. Watched for like Danny Nguyen, and I opened for Shock and Awe. I got on Project Runway after I worked with them, so yeah. So I had made an account with the agency I was signed with, and the owner had contacted me and was like, hey, do you have an example of your walk? I'm trying to expand for New York Fashion Week. Oh, New York Fashion Week, sorry, I like totally got out of the frame. So I'm like, yeah, and I literally had the video of me opening that show, so I sent it, and she's like, okay, we're gonna sign you on. I'm like, okay, cool. So looked over the paperwork, kept the paperwork, signed the paperwork, did all the other stuff necessary. I'm not gonna say what I had to do necessary, because if I do, it's gonna put them on blast, and I don't feel like dealing with that. So you know, first year was cute. They got me a $200 paid job for some designer in Style Fashion Week. I can't remember the name right now. So that, and then went on castings here and there. But when it got to be like 2017, everything like slowed down as this agency, which is small, and they're like, yeah, we're a small agency, which I hate that terminology now, because it just kind of seems like a way to kind of bullshit, in my opinion, in the nicest way possible. I just kind of feel like, yeah, we're a small agency, we can't do X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, you're kind of speaking the wrong things into existence at that point, you know? So that's how I felt about it, how I feel about the terminology. But anyway, so they're saying, yeah, we're a small agency and we're trying to grow and we really want to support you, da, da, da. And I'm like, okay, cool. So it gets to be 2017. I'm in London for a job that I basically did on my own. That London trip was through my people that I knew. So there was that, and fully funded by myself, by the way, because the designer I was working with basically was like, this is gonna be a great opportunity, the same thing all designers tell you. So there's that. And then so the London trip does not go as planned, because I tried to meet with another agency out there, and they were like, oh yeah, we love your look, and then turned around and were like, but we can't actually use you because you're too tall. Not gonna mention them, but whatever. So, you know, it kind of gets to a point where I kind of feel like I'm not being supported and all this other stuff. And then I get my job on the TV show that I work on now. And for those of you who are close to me, you guys know where I work and why from March to like now it's like looking like August, I am not available for shoots unless it's on weekends. People close to me know why that is. But yeah, so there's that. So what really started turning it for me was like, so I get the job on the TV show and I'm making more money, and I joined SAG because that's what happens through this job. And all the while my modeling agency is still like, I never paid attention to it because I was doing SAG work and background and stuff, but I was not booking anything. And it was getting to the point where I'm on set for like these TV shows, and there's other models from other agencies, and they're like, oh, how come I don't see you on the bridal circuit? Market week's going on, like, what's up? And I'm thinking like, that's a good point, because I've done bridal and I do have a market contact of my own. So I'm like, well, why am I doing all this work when I have a modeling agency, right? So the phone call happens, and mind you, I never wanted this to be a phone call. What I wanted was to talk about this in person, because I'm very much like, if I have a concern, especially when it comes to money, I want to talk about this shit in person. So I tell my agent, boss, person this, and homegirl's like, nah, it can be a phone call. That was the first strike for me, because I'm like, okay, you're not, like, I would have waited a week, but it just kind of seemed like, oh, I need to just deal with this now, and just, it just seems kind of rushed, and I didn't appreciate that. So there's that. So I get on this phone call with her, and it's mad awkward, because no shade, that's kind of how that person is. So this awkward ass phone call while I'm on the train going somewhere, I can't even remember. But what I definitely remember was talking to her about why I'm not getting booked for anything, even though I'm here. And you've had me here for almost 2 years now. And that's the thing. Like, why would you keep someone on your board that long if they're not booking anything? Like, it just kind of seems a waste of my time, the agency's time, everything. So it gets to that point, and I'm asking her, like, yeah, why am I not getting booked on anything? Like, and she's like, well, I'm submitting you. Heard that before. That doesn't do anything for me. So I mentioned the fact that I mentioned that other models are like, hey, what about market and bridal? And then she says it still pisses me off to this day. So basically homegirl's like, oh, well, that's not in the agency's niche. Cute. But I did not call you or ask for this conversation because of what the agency's niche. I'm wondering why the hell I'm not getting booked for anything, ma'am. So there's that. So long story short, the phone call was a bust. And at that point, I'm like, I am going to step back from them. So it's more of at that point, that was in 2018. Honestly, I've just been mad, like just pissed. Cause it just kind of seemed like it was a thing of like, I know I have all this potential to book stuff and do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, I'm not being supported by my agency. That's just it. That's literally how I felt. And it kind of was shitty to me because it's like, this agency from the jump and to this day is the one that's like, we'll accept everyone, we do da-da-da, and I'm like, cute. And it matches with my values because that's what I want. I would love for there to be a place where like someone with vitiligo gets seen, someone who's plus gets seen, someone with disability gets seen. However, when it comes to me, I need to be getting paid too. I need to be out there booking and doing what I know I can do. And the agency wasn't doing it for me. So the straw that broke the camel's back for me personally was I'm literally on set, working on the television show, doing all this stuff, and I'm keep getting emails from the agency about testing and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, fine. So we get the email about the New York Fashion Week package. So what the thing with the package with them is that we've always paid like $100 or so for all of us to work with some photographer and basically get our show cards. Well, I'm sitting here thinking, well, I've been continuously paying this money for what, 3 years now? And I skipped February Fashion Week this year because I wasn't like, no. So it just kind of seemed like a lot of like me paying into something that does not seem to book me on anything. And I feel like if I have to work my ass off and spend my own money on my end and pay more to these people who can't seem to get me booked on anything, like, seem pointless. So at that point, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. And then I thought about it. I'm like, honestly, the idea of being at a place like this is making me fucking miserable. And I am just done. So, oh, and I think that week too, I found out my grandmother got breast cancer, so it wasn't a good week. It was all on a Monday, and I was like, you know what? Life is too short to sit somewhere where they have you on a board for years and years, and communication is crap, borderline, and I just don't have the energy, you know? So I left. Yeah. I left. I think I said that they have 30 days to remove all of my information and everything, and I'm just running it off my own shit right now because I couldn't do it. I could not, like, it was making me miserable as fuck knowing that I was signed somewhere that just borderline didn't give a shit. Whether they had intention or not, as far as I'm concerned, it was a situation of indifference is stronger than hate or being liked, and I don't have time for that. Like, my values are still my values, whether or not I'm signed to an agency that agrees with them, and yeah, that's it. So at this point now, it's more of a thing of working hard as hell on my end to make sure I book the type of work that I know I can work. Because I refuse to be counted out. Sorry. I didn't move from DC and deal with what I dealt with modeling in DC to come here and not get what I came for. That's it. I need my tinted moisturizer because I'm realizing it looks a little uneven. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, that is basically why I left my agency. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I wish them the best, all that stuff. Quite frankly, I just don't care. Like, good on them if they continue to book girls for work, but from what I've been hearing, I'm not the only one who feels a certain type of way. And I hate to say it like that because it does make me sound like a villain, but also it's the truth. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't have the energy to lie. I just don't. So yeah. So that's it. You know, your girl's just out here doing her thing, working my 30 million jobs since, you know, half Caribbean, all that shit. And yeah, so we'll see what the future holds. Fashion Week's coming up, I guess, and I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna navigate that like I always do, because that seems to be the most effective way. I mean, that's how I got my ass to New York anyway. So yeah. Let me finish blending this out. And God, I don't want to leave. I don't want to like go out of this with like my skin looking a mess. You know, like, oh, Bria went out in the world half undone. Oh no. Wait, shit, did I put powder? Fuck, I can't remember. Okay. But yeah. So that's it, you know. Not a huge thing. It's not like anything super bad happened. I was just miserable. I felt underestimated, underappreciated, and communication wasn't that great. And I was tired of spending my money on people who don't seem to really be about me, you know? So yeah. And I think we are, let me blend that out. And we're done. I'm going to the grocery store. Thank you so much for the support, I guess. Yeah, supporting me, listening to my little story, my little chit chat. Probably do more of these because honestly, it's just way easier to just record it this way. Like, it's easier for me to just record when I do my makeup, and you can see all the madness. Oh my God, my freaking junk pile is in the shot. Oh shit. That's gonna be gone next time I film. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys have a great hump day, you know, be productive and things. Like I said, I'm gonna go to the grocery store because I literally only have eggs and carrots left in the fridge. So gotta re-up on healthy food. Bye, y'all.